I think, especially in the West here, we want to blame Russia for everything and make Russia the enemy, when I don't think they necessarily are the enemy. I think the biggest threat in the world right now is North Korea, and you have to look at North Korea as just a puppet. There is a puppet master, and that is China. The Chi-Com are I think truly the threat to the world, and something needs to be done about them. They are encroaching on India's border. They are doing things that are very provocative. What they're doing in the South Asian Sea is wrong, and something needs to be done about it. And I think well, let's go ahead and just watch this video and tell me if you don't agree, right? Because this is bad. This is very bad. Hindustan, I'm with Hindustan. I stay with my brothers and sisters in Hindustan, and we gotta do something about the Chi-Coms. We really do.
China moves tons of military equipment to Tibet to scare Indian army. China has moved tens of thousands of tons of military vehicles and equipment to Tibet, likely under the garb of two defense exercises held on the plateau in recent weeks but perhaps aimed at muscle flexing amid the Doklam standoff, said reports today. The massive beefing up of logistics was not near the Sikkim border but in northern Tibet, near Xinjiang in the west. Beijing can, however, rapidly deploy its logistics to the border through its vast road and rail network in Tibet, with the expressway now extending from Lhasa all the way to Yadong, on China's side of Nathala in the Sikkim section. The 700-kilometer distance can be covered in 6 to 7 hours. The vast haul was transported to a region south of the Kurlun Mountains in northern Tibet by the Western Theater Command, which oversees the restive regions of Xinjiang and Tibet, and handles border issues with India. The People's Liberation Army Daily, official newspaper of the military, was quoted as saying by the South China Morning Post. The report said the project took place late last month and involved hardware being moved simultaneously by road and rail from across the entire region. What is the People's Liberation Army up to? The People's Liberation Army Daily did not say if the logistics movement was for the two exercises. On July 3rd, state media reported on drills involving a new battle tank, while this past weekend, a live-fire drill and testing of anti-aircraft guns was held on the plateau by a mountain brigade responsible for frontier combat operations. Ni Lexiang, a Shanghai military commentator, told the South China Morning Post the movement was likely related to the standoff and could have been designed to bring India to the negotiating table. Diplomatic talks must be backed by military preparation, he was quoted as saying. The People's Liberation Army wanted to demonstrate it could easily overpower its Indian counterparts, added military commentator Zhou Chenming to the paper. Wang Behu, a South Asia strategic expert, told the paper that military operations are all about logistics and at present there is much better logistics support to the Tibet region. China is also different from how it was in 1962, Wang was quoted as saying, noting that in 1962, logistics difficulties contributed to China pulling back and declaring a unilateral ceasefire. Now, he added, the People's Liberation Army can easily transport troops and supplies to the front line, thanks to the much improved infrastructure including the Qinghai-Tibet Railway and other new roads connecting the plateau to the rest part of China. Thank you.